Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Mindzai. My name is Brendan and welcome to episode 211 of Unboxed. And what is this? We see all of these cardboard pieces lying about. You know what that means. We have another display set to unbox, another store display. Yes, this time of the Maltese Enjoy the Moments figures. This is all about two little dogs basically enjoying each other's company, doing fun little things like knitting, playing games, having a nice cowabunga surf. And what better way to show off the wonders of life with a friend than to have a nice, pristine, colorful background to show off all of these toys. So, we got our pieces, we got our toys. Let's put everything together and let's get unboxed. But before we begin, did you guys like? Did you subscribe? Make sure you tune in for all kinds of great content from unboxings to artist interviews. So we have our base, our foundation. We got the sand, the sea, and the grass. And we also have a lot of grass pieces here. So I think I'm gonna use these to sort of prop up, like so. Maybe I'll have this one go over here. I think I have an idea for this. We also have a funny little background. I love the cloudy Maltese in here, so we will just prop that like so. Now I see this slot right here on the grass, and it perfectly matches this signpost right here. So we just sort of swivel and fit that in. The styrofoam is sometimes a little bit tough, but there we go. This grassy block is missing a bit of detail. You can see all the little lines to let you know, hey, it's grass, but this has got nothing. But I think this will cover that up just nicely. Then over here, I'm actually going to place this big ol' RV, truck, bus, whatever, right over here. We have a nice little cart, and there's another slot here. Perfect for this balloon, glass and balloons. So we just swivel that in here. There we go, nice fit. Ah! Stay, stay, good boy. We also have this slot right in the water, perfect for the splash zone. So you just wiggle that in. Oh, that one went in nice and smooth. Ah, adds a lot of depth to the piece. Now we have a few additional pieces here, and I think they just sort of border the area, add some extra space for additional toys. I'm gonna have one in here. Maybe I can have one standee right there. And then maybe this is actually perfect for the tent. And just like that, I think we got a decent looking display going. I tried to make the most sense of it I can without instructions, while still making it look somewhat cohesive. So we have the grass, the leaves, the van. There's at least some kind of activity going on around here, and enough space for the dogs to do their things. I call them the dogs, listen to them bark.
I call them the dogs, listen to them bark.
So this display comes with 5 out of 6 figures in the set, and I think they made some really good picks. So let's take a look at each and every one of them. Oh, this is the night, a beautiful night. This is Picnic Moment. Now, of course, when you have two dogs that are sharing a piece of spaghetti, you can't miss out on the reference to Lady and the Tramp. It's kind of impossible to miss here. But I love the mat. It's actually very thick, very solid, so it doesn't look like any of these dogs are going to be separating from their meal anytime soon. Even the spaghetti is pretty solid, how it's attached to the two right here. None of this pegs in. This is all one solid mold, which is awesome. You can see the little meatballs, and they all have little details, all little like bumps to make the meatballs look more realistic. We have our tray and our nice lumpy Maltese dogs. They even have little like bumpy little tails, which is really good. So it's all about making sure that there's just that right amount of texture to not make it look too clean, but it's still very, very simple, which I like. Now we just need to figure out where we are putting this. And I say they'd be eating right by this car. We can say it's like a little food truck with the mat right in there. It's just like a normal day at the beach, right? Next up right here, we have shopping moment. This is a real rabbits go home moment, I say. So this is a really cool toy. You do have to peg it in together. You peg in like the rails here, then you peg in the white Maltese right here. But when you put it together, you have a rolling pink shopping cart. So it actually does roll with one Maltese with the ears sort of like facing back, so it looks like its face is toward the wind. And then you have this Maltese just struggling to just keep it up. Don't worry, buddy. You can do it. Work those hind legs. But I really like this one. I love toys that roll. Now, there isn't really anywhere to shop in the middle of nowhere forest, but we have these signposts sort of directing the Maltese to a certain location, so I think they should be huffing and puffing about this way. Now this one I wasn't expecting to be as good as it is. This is Weave Moment, and it starts as two separate pieces, but you take this piece, plug it into the hole, and then you can get the full context. This is really, really cool. So we have this Maltese wrapped around in just yarn with this nice little piece here. I think I want to eat that. But it all plugs in. Oh, it's a little bit delicate, so you got to be a little more careful with it. But you can see this Maltese is trying to knit a blanket or a tarp or something out of that. But you can see it's basically just feeding off the other dog. I love these metallic knitting utensils. But my favorite part is the fact that this is flocked, both the yarn around the body and the little blanket that's currently being made here. So I love something flocked, I love something fuzzy, adds so much texture and dimension to the toy. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be one of my favorites, but turns out that it is. You just gotta be a little bit careful with it. Say I'm placing these friends right here. You can knit in piece away from the water a little bit. I think that's good. Surf's up, dudes. I love this one. This is Surfing Moment, and there's just so much to love about this piece. So you have the two Maltese hanging 10. You still have that nice subtle texture, especially in the belly. You can still feel the little bumps. You have the wind flowing through their heads here, and then the surfboard is actually big, thick, and solid. It's yellow and green. But my favorite part is just the water itself. I love translucent plastic, and this one's really nice because you have all the water splashing with different lengths, creating a nice wave, and it just adds this extra bit of weight. This is actually really, really cool to just hold. But this thing's gotta go somewhere. And I think they should go on the sand. No, I'm just kidding. They should be hanging 10 right here. There we go. I think I'm also going to move the weaving right here. A little too much going on. You want too much visual information, and that gives the surfing some time and some space to itself. And that leads to my final and favorite one for totally non-biased reasons. This is Leisure Moment. Best weight, heaviest figure in the lot here. But I mean, come on, they're gaming. They're on this nice little bean bag where you can see the little creases and the little notches around here to let them know that there's some real weight to these two dogs sitting together. But they are very clearly playing the Nintendo Switch. You have the black slab, you have the little indent where the Switch logo would be, and they're different indents, one with ears down, one with ears up. And then you even have little molded Joy-Con. You have a blue one and a pink one, not so much red, but more so pink, which matches some Joy-Con colors that Nintendo made. So I really like this one. And if you're gonna be gaming, you are gaming in the tent. It's sort of hard to put them in with one hand, but I think I can just swivel them in like so. There we go. And there we have it, folks. We completed our display, and let me tell you, I honestly really love how this turned out. I think there's space enough just so we can really appreciate each and every toy, good context for each one. Personally, I don't like to brag or anything. But what was your favorite part? Which is your favorite toy? Do you think maybe you could swap the places around? Let me know how you would format this thing, because no instructions, no rules. Put it together the way you want in your mind. But what did you think about this little unboxing show-off of a store display? Do you want to see more? Let us know in the comments below, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good jazz. And as always, keep your mind's eye wide open.